Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human Podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. Hey everyone, it's July 14th, and today's reflection is titled, Nevertheless, She Persisted. How are you doing today? I hope all is well, whenever and wherever you are. This reflection was inspired by another quote from East of Eden by John Steinbeck. We just had a reflection inspired by that very book, July 4th, The Gods Will Fall. So here we are again, getting inspiration from Steinbeck and this book. And the quote goes like this: Olive had great courage. Perhaps it takes courage to raise children. And I must tell you what she did about the First World War. Her thinking was not international. Her first boundary was the geography of her family. Second, her town Salinas. And finally, there was a dotted line not clearly defined, which was the county line. Thus, she did not quite believe in the war, not even when Troop C, our militia cavalry, was called out, loaded its horses on a train, and set out for the open world. And here is my reflection. If such a thing as a plan for life existed, outside of the hopes and wishes created in her heart and mind, her life hardly went according to it. It might have appeared to be on track at the beginning. Marry a handsome man in show business, live in New York City for a spell, have 3 kids, and buy a historic house in the suburbs with a decent yard for gardening and for kids to play in. But, and we already know this, if you want to make God laugh, you didn't have to scratch too far down below the surface to get through the shining veneer to the rot and see the truth of it all. That handsome man struggled with drug and alcohol addiction and delusions of grandeur. Show business was a curse that only fed the ego and perpetuated the problems. The cost of living in New York City was just too high for newlyweds on a single income, with 2 babies only a year apart in age. And the house in the suburbs, though quaint, was a money pit. The odds were against her, just as they were and still are for so many. Once we were old enough, she took whatever money they had. Whatever was left from my father's excessive spending on boats, satellite TV, cashmere sweaters, pretty much anything other than the materials to fix up the house, and put themselves atop a mountain of debt to enroll us in private Catholic schools on Long Island. By the time I was 15, a sophomore in high school, the year 2001, she was working as an overnight legal secretary for a law firm operating out of the World Trade Center in Manhattan. She was getting ready to head home at about 8 a.m. Her shift was ending, and her boss asked her to stay to work overtime. Given our poor financial situation at home, she usually wouldn't have turned down the work, but she was too tired that day. And about 46 minutes later, while she was safe and on her way home, the first tower was struck. Insanely, about 3 days later, they had them back at work in temporary offices in another building. National and global chaos ensued, of which we are still feeling the repercussions almost 24 years later. Despite it all, she persisted with courage. Her focus was not the fact her friends and colleagues perished in those horrible attacks, or that my father was becoming increasingly absent and belligerent when he was around, or that the U.S. was about to enter into a 20-year-long war. No. Her focus was what was in the realm of her control, the area she could have the greatest impact, raising her children as, essentially, a single mother working nights and trying to put them through schools outside her financial means to give us the hopes of a better future and of a better life than she had. If there's one thing I've learned from my mother, and I've learned many things, it's that it takes courage to raise children in this world. And there ends today's reflection. It's not easy being a parent, and it certainly takes courage. So thank you to all the parents, and especially the mothers out there who show courage in raising children the best they can in this wild, wacky, and beautiful world. All right, so now it's time for your reflection question. Ask yourself this: who are the courageous mothers in my life? What can I learn and emulate from them? And it can be your mother, or it can be another mother, or it can be a person with a motherly attitude that you are learning from. If you're thinking back to July 13th, Mothers Will Save the World. And that is it for today, July 14th. I'll be back tomorrow, July 15th, with another reflection. Have a good one, and take care.